Hello, my fellow healers. My name is Adina, and I'm that healing girl. And in this pick a card reading, we're going to be discussing the energy that is coming in from the ancestors. This reading is for the ancestors, and when I say that, I mean this reading is specifically for those in the African diaspora. Now, anybody who is, feeling the vibes of this reading can come into this reading, but it's specifically for those in the African diaspora around the world. This is for the ancestors. If you know, you know. And so I have pile number 1, 2, and 3. I will be listing the cards that I'm using in the reading or in the info box of the reading below. And I'm using in particular a deck called the Rest Deck by Tricia Hersey. It's a beautiful deck, and it has an accompanying book and philosophy about how we can, as a people, break ourselves from the binds of the hustle culture of capitalism, and how we can try and make space for ourselves in a world that is not for us, and particularly in a country that oftentimes is not for us. And how we can find comfort, and and I wanted to honor the message that I think is going across the entire African diaspora right now, and that is that we are resting, particularly when it comes to Black and African diaspora people in America. We are resting. We are not out there doing the same things that we were doing in 2020. We're not protesting in the same way. We're protesting in a different way. And one of the most radical ways that you can be revolutionary and that you can start a revolution and a protest is, as a person that's Black or in the African diaspora, is simply to love yourself with your whole heart, and simply to value yourself in a world that tells you that you have less or little value, or maybe even no value. So with that, that is the space that I'm coming from through this reading. We have the African American Tarot deck. I'll list all these. We have the African Gods Oracle, and we have the African Goddess Rising Oracle. And this is the African American Tarot deck. It's such a lovely, beautifully artistically rendered deck that to me gives me vibes of Impressionism. And these are the messages. We have pile number 1, 2, and 3. And I tried to use stones that have to do with the root chakra and that have to do with a lot of ancestral healing. And this Orthoceras stone is for transformation and healing. This Shiva Lingam stone is for balancing the masculine and feminine divine energy aspects and all the spectrums in between. As I've said this many times, I believe gender is on the spectrum. And then we have this lovely Aura Light 23, very high vibe stone, and this one has hematite inclusions in the top, and those hematite inclusions ground the spiritual world into the physical world. And we, as people in the African diaspora, particularly in America, we have had to find joy in the sadness. We've had to dance in the rain. We have had to be spiritual in the most terrible predicaments, in situations like slavery, in situations like Jim Crow. If you go onto the world scene and things like apartheid, right? So this reading is kind of an honor to that, and kind of saying, what do I need to do in this moment? Not only to honor the ancestral information of all of that, but what can I bring into the future? What can I do now to honor that within myself? So without further ado, pile number 1, 2, and 3. And as with always, take what resonates with you, leaving the rest behind, trusting that you are exactly where you need to be right now in this moment. And I'll see you in the reading. Okay, pile number 1. Let's see what we have in store for you. this lovely Orthoceras stone, and it has like a fossil essentially in it. These stones are very ancient, and the African people are the birth of civilization. We have a great portion of the original mitochondrial DNA from the birth of civilization within us, and I feel like this stone is a nod to that as well. So let's see what we have. Looks like a tower card. Interesting, because I feel like, oops, sorry. Oh no. My backdrop is sliding. Wow, that is, so I'm getting from this some kind of a tower moment in your life is reflecting what is happening in the world. So this could be, I think honestly this is reflective of the world. This is reflective of the state of the world and how that is showing up in our mental state, essentially. Yeah, it's showing up in our mental state. Yeah. And with this, I believe this is the Page of Wands, and this is a brand new deck, so I'm still learning it, so bear with me. I believe this is the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands, it's either the Page or the Knight of Wands. The Page of Wands is, and the Knight of Wands energy is definitely like coming through. You're basically, I feel like this is like a take no prisoners energy. You are so tired. You are so tired of the okie doke right now. Like you aren't even trying to, like, if somebody is coming at you with any BS right now, pile number one, you are not the one, basically. Because, and I feel like a lot of this pile is the 92% or the 80%, because, and a lot of this pile probably has a lot of Americans in it, because I'm getting definitely the vibes of, there's a lot of 5 energy coming through, and I think this goes back to the election in November. And since that happened, you literally have been giving 0 Fs. You have 0 Fs to give, and you are, there's an energy of recovery as well. Yeah, there's an energy of recovery that is, I mean, you had so much anxiety before the election, and after the election, it's like all of your worst fears, and collectively, all of our worst fears were realized and are still being realized. And now you are just, you are in a complete, your emotional state is one of burnout, for one. But the burnout, instead of making you, feel defeated, it just is not making you feel defeated in any way. It's making you feel very strong. Yeah. It's making you feel very strong. But this, in this card, in this deck, is Temperance. And it's saying Babalu Ai. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. God of recovered health. light, harmony, inner energy, serenity, creative inspiration, proper measure, generosity. In the shadow, it's an energy imbalance and a lack of harmony, instability, and apathy. And so these are the emotions that hit you. You were apathetic. You were like, I don't care. Screw it. What does it matter anyway? The instability of the world had got to you and has gotten to you. And you are being called to embrace your inner healing and your inner medicine. There's a lot of major arcana cards here. So you are going through a major shift in your life, pile number 1. Yeah, in a major shift. And this, in this deck, is the devil. So you are being cautioned to deal with the burnout and the fallout and the emotions in a positive way. And not to fall into excesses. And what I mean is like overeating, over drinking, overspending, especially not overspending right now in this time of economic upheaval. Yeah. And because of this, with the card, there's information in my dreams and my dream space and my daydreaming. I feel like you might have even been having nightmares. And this is your mind's way and your spirit's way of processing the information. So I know this sounds crazy, but pay attention to your nightmares. And you might even want to look into lucid dreaming as a way to heal. Lucid dreaming is a way to process the fears and the things in your subconscious. There's a deck I'm reaching for, which is why my voice is sounding in shadow. This is not a deck that I have in the reading, but I recommend it for you. It's called Lucid Dreaming, Lucid Living. It is an amazing manual on how to lucid dream with cards, and I believe this person even has a like workshops, classes, and all of that. And like going into your dream space is going to be very, very healing for you, and discovering like who you are within that dream space, because you have a lot of healing to do, and there's a lot of trauma. Like this entire election cycle for you, it unearthed a lot of inner turmoil and trauma and triggers. It did in all of us, of course, but I'm speaking to the pile 1 in particular. In you, it had a very outsized reaction. And not to say that I'm not trying to say this is your reaction is outside the situation. I'm just saying you had a really big reaction in comparison to some of the other people around you who were also sort of processing the information as well, who are also Black. So I'm not trying to, just so you know, diminish what it is you're going through. I'm just saying that what you're going through and everything you went through, it tended to, for some reason, hit you harder than even people in your peer group you realize, on an emotional level, because everybody processes things differently. And because of whatever unique experiences you had, either with racism or with like familial trauma or whatever it, or just maybe even psychological trauma, general anxiety disorder or depression or something you were already dealing with before this, it hits you like 10 times harder. And so there's probably going to be a need for therapy as well. And if you can't afford therapy, because I know in this economy things are hitting everybody hard, at least try and avail yourself of resources at places like libraries to find, where you can get self-help resources or support groups or community support groups, right? Try and look for those. Go to your local like Black bookstores if you have some, or any local Black community interest, to see if you can get some kind of community support, because it's going to be very, very important for you. And there's a need for you to also sort of be sort of be as quiet. I don't know how to explain that, but make your energy as quiet as possible. There's so much traumatic things happening, and what you really need to do is calm down your self-soothe. There we go. Self-soothe as much as possible. So if that means, like, you know, giving yourself a giant bubble bath, cooking your favorite meal, try and give yourself some soft life experience, because the world out there is hard, it's harsh. That's what I'm getting from that. Oh, pile number 1. That's all I gotta say. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing strength you have. Let's see what this card says. There is a collection of wisdom and knowledge waiting for you in a dream space. What if your body has a message of liberation, but you can only offer it while you're in a rested state? Examine the ways you can slow down right now and forever. Go into the dream space often. Yes, lucid dreaming is going to be a powerful healing tool. Ojolegbon, I think I am pronouncing that right. Don't come for me. When death calls, there is no place to hide. This is about embracing life. It's not about being, this is not about depression or oppression. This is about embracing life and what's important to you in this life and how you handle that. It says, negative aspect. When death calls, there's no place to hide. Impressionable and easily influenced lives in fear of death. Strong in public but cries in private. Talks too much and doesn't keep secrets. Get involved with issues that don't concern you. Emotionally dependent. What's the use of seeking answers about which paths to follow? The fear that haunts your soul prevents you from acting and seeking what you want. Under the negative influence of Ojolegbon, the time has come to look inside yourself, to seek the light that once shone but now flickers sadly in the face of the challenges of destiny. In contrast to the darkness that takes you inside, you have a tremendous effort to appear strong to the people around you, who recognize in you a safe haven to vent their anxieties and doubts. It is as if the universe tried to tell you, just like you, others suffer too, and that's okay. After all, no pain lasts forever. However, as a way to avoid taking your own life in hand, you give in to other people's issues and many times end up blurring the line between advice and intrusion. I know your intentions are always good, but while trying to help others as a way to escape from your own shadows, you've been talking too much, and even without realizing it, revealing secrets and intimacies that were confided in you. Yes, the world is a dangerous place, but are the threats really so much bigger and stronger than you are able to face? There is a saying that worse than dying is not feeling alive. And isn't that what you have been doing, accepting your circumstances without even trying to do things differently? The key to this moment in your life is realizing that by letting fate lead the way to avoid having to make decisions for yourself, you are still making the ultimate decision to leave your life in the hands of the unknown. The question, however, is where will these choices take you? Since for those who don't know where they are going, any path will do. Where will you go from here? I think this has to do with dealing with the residual trauma that has happened from this whole everything that we're going through right now. And you might be channeling that into trying to be over helpful to others, but what you really need to do is to take stock and to tend to your own inner wounds. You might be the strong one that everyone goes to, but know that you also need healing, nurturing, caring. And this is joy, asasaya, joy. You need to bring more joy and happiness into your life. Again, you do this by sort of embracing the sunshine and the rain. It's giving me that. As anybody that knows me and that has followed the channel knows that I channel songs a lot, and I'm getting like joy, that song joy and pain. It's like sunshine and rain. Yeah, that's what's coming through to me. Yeah. Let's see what this is. 16. Goddess of Joy, Ashanti, Ghana. Temple Warriors, Element Bush. Goddess of Sasaya rules life and death as the joyful crone, celebrated as Mama Earth. Her energy is loving, fertile, and nurturing, and her name is invoked at major life transitions. Your happiness matters. Joy is sacred. Your laughter waters the earth. You deserve to be happy. It is safe to feel good. Allow yourself to feel joy with no limits. This is self-love. Your happiness doesn't need to look like anyone else's. If you can't imagine it, you won't be able to have it. Giggle therapy break. Close your eyes and see yourself joy-filled. Now laugh with your mouth and your eyes wide open. Try to release feel-good endorphins. Goddess declaration. I feel like me when I'm happy. You need to bring more joy in your life. Yes, Frankie, Beverly, and Mays. I was trying to remember the name of that. If you enjoy Frankie, Beverly, and Mays, definitely listen to his songs, because I think that, and I'm getting like the feeling of the songs of the 70s and the 60s, when people were going through, our ancestors were going through struggles for civil rights, and we're going through similar things again right now. And there's a need to bring back this energy, this music, this sweetness within, even though we're going through all of this hardship. I think that embracing a certain amount of joy and not giving in to an over sense of responsibility for others, despair, and apathy is the way to go. We've had the tower moment, and it's not the time to be sifting through the rubble. It's the time to be clearing away of the rubble and to be picking up the pieces of our lives and emotions. I do have so much compassion for you, pile number one, because this is not an easy thing. It's very, very difficult to do. But start small. You can, for some reason, I'm getting one of the ways you can start is when you wake up in the morning, go outside and breathe in the sunshine and meditate for 1 to 5 minutes in the sunshine, and try and think of something that you're grateful for. Start a gratitude practice. That's one thing that's coming in for me, pile number one. At any rate, I wish you all the best. And if this resonates with you, please like, subscribe, and comment with a skeleton emoji or a black heart. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, pile number two, with this Shiva Lingam balancing stone, balances the masculine, feminine energies and all the genders in between. And all those expressions in between, and it invites in the energy of balance in general. Again, this is a reading for the ancestors, and for many African beliefs and ancestral religions, the ancestors are there. In a lot of the other beliefs, especially European beliefs, it's like the thinning of the veil. But in African beliefs, there is like no thinning. The ancestors are available to us at all times. We can call out to them. We can ask their guidance. We can make altars to them. We can, access them in our dreams. I access my loved ones that have passed on in my dreams a lot. I call them spirit dreams. And they're healing, and they're full of information for me to reflect on in my waking life. Until I meet the ancestors on the other side. So let's see what is in store for pile number two. Oh yeah, the Knight of Wands. There's a lot of fire energy. 2 of Wands. I'm totally getting this vibe right here. Ace of Wands. King of Pentacles. So pile number two, I'm really getting that you might be really affected by the entire situation that's happening with the government shutdown. It feels like the energy might be around like food and money and supporting your children. And with this 2 of Wands energy, again, too, a lot of times it's about choice and balances, and you're really trying to, balance your energies at this time. You might I feel like I'm getting the feeling of you're really tired as well. Yeah, you're really tired. And your card says perfectionism is not human. To be human is to rest. I will open my heart to rest. I'm getting a masculine energy from this, but it could be honestly anybody that is taking on the role of protector and provider. Yeah, so it could be anybody. But I'm getting strong masculine vibes from this. Like they might be male presenting humans. Worrying about how to support their families. And feeling like they have to be, like, uphold these ridiculous standards of, like, patriarchy and being the man and afraid to be vulnerable, you know, trying to uphold this almost like this superhuman superhero energy, and, you know, sort of wanting to be like the Superman for their family. That's the vibe I'm getting from this. And, you know, that's just not sustainable. True strength lies in vulnerability. It's really hard to be vulnerable. To be honest, it's easier to not show emotions, to not show our fears, right? Yeah. And there's a lot of uncertainty. Here it says, for this Two of Wands is Obambu, spirit of the unburied dead that possesses newborns with madness, wealth, Africa. This card represents hardship, awkwardness, madness, confusion, delirium, uncertainty, fears for the future, and sadness. You're very, very scared, but you're putting on this strong face. Pile number 2. And it's okay to be scared. It's okay. You want to show up with this Knight of Wands energy, and you want to fight on the battles and slay all the dragons. You know, and that's, I'm not like putting that down or anything, because you know, it's very admirable to want to care for those, but you have to let other people care for you, and you have to care for yourself. And again, this is not just for masculine individuals, but anybody who's taking on everything, you know, who's taking on the role that they have to be the all. And some of you might have been conflicted about pile number 1 or pile number 2, to be honest. Some of you might want to go back to pile number 1 and also look at that. But this is more specific around providing and your fears for the future. And there's a strong, you know, the tree, the root, family. Yeah. And honestly, the thing is, the biggest way that you're going to be strong and be together is to find community. So I really invite you to go to places that are either online or offline, where you can get help, where you can have resources available to you at this time, and where you can literally be in contact with people who are going through the same struggles as you, and that you don't have to have it all figured out, and that you don't have to go through this alone. There's whole swaths of people going through this, and how can we get together, and how can we pool our energy? How can we fill in the spaces and the gaps for each other as a community? That's what this energy feels like. Not doing it all alone. Yeah. And again, I am infinitely sad for the whole situation that is, you know, basically birthing all of this. Yeah, that is basically birthing all of this. There is also some another message in here with this Ace of Wands and into the King of Pentacles, is that there is potential coming in for you for some idea on how to make money. And one of the ways that you can be open to that, though, is not from stress, panic, and anxiety, but it's going to come to you once you sort of calm this raucous energy. Once you sort of calm this energy, you're going to get like an epiphany aha moment. So it might be like, oh, like there's this other skill that I have I totally wasn't even thinking that I can like use to like side hustle or something like that. That's what I'm getting from this. So it's not all like messages of this is what you need to do, but there's some hope as well too. And at the end of the day, with this Shiva Lingam, it's about balance. Yes, you need to take care of your family, your children, and yes, you have fears for them, and it's totally valid to acknowledge those fears and feelings. But yes, you also need to find ways to find community and lean on others to help you. That might mean, going to food pantries, food banks. Maybe you feel like a little proud to do it because you've always like taken care of yourself and you've always had enough. And this is like the first time where you're like staring down the possibility of not having enough. Or maybe it's vice versa. You've been there, done that, and you never thought you would be back here again. So yeah. Let's see what this is. To attempt perfection is to donate your spirit to the hands of toxic culture. Perfectionism drives us to unnecessary and unsustainable ways of living. Grind culture holds perfectionism as a badge of honor in a system far from perfect. Your work is to open your heart to rest and to be more human with each slow moment. Allow yourself to be human. Allow yourself to, to sort of put down this burden of perfection, having to be the perfect strong one for everybody. Oh wow, yeah. So pile number 2, you really might want to go back to pile number 1. Pile number 1 had the opposite side of this. There's 2 sides to Ogiologban, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, Ogiologban, but compassion is the path that leads to peaceful living. Yeah, and the compassion is the compassion you should show for yourself. Pile number 2. I'm just gonna grab this book here. Oh, there it is. Amazing, because it's literally the other side of the coin of the energy from pile number 1. Said Ogiologban, compassion is the path that leads to peaceful living. Regent Horatius, Babaluaye, Nana and Ikun with the ancestors. Fair and honest, great inner strength to face difficulties, excellent advisor, docile and kind, good taste, preferring simple things, accumulates knowledge, knowing a little bit of everything, prefers to live in a group than alone. Did you know that you're a source of wisdom and inspiration for others under the positive influence of Ogiologban? The time has come to recognize yourself as such. After all, lack of self-confidence has been one of your weak points. Stop for a moment and notice how they come to you in times of pain and doubt, finding in you a counselor and comforter. You have the power to renew people's hopes so that they trust in the greater good and continue to live. How about taking to yourself the advice you give to others? As Ogiologban represents ends and closures, the symbolic death of what no longer serves us. The influence of Ogiologban also indicates a period of seclusion and inner observation that, while not bad for foreboding risks, is not suitable for socializing. The routine has become more and more tedious. It makes you wish to isolate from the world, as if no company is pleasant enough, not even your own. The greater lesson will be found when you understand the difference between solitude and isolation, getting to know yourself by hearing the silent voice of your heart, when finally you give your mind a rest. Life is not always a party, and at times finding your own truth in the deepest layers of your soul can be the key to living in balance amid the chaos of everyday life. The modern world often requires us to live like superheroes. Invincible, infallible, and invulnerable to all faith's challenges and issues. For now, however, resignation and contemplation are keywords for the days ahead, teaching that for everything in life there's a time and place, including the times we must surrender to the flow of life and recognize that not everything will always be the way we want, and there's no harm in that. Ogiologban's empowering ritual. On the new moon Saturday, overcook a cup of rice, cornmeal, white polenta, and let it cook until it's solid. Or, if you're African American, cook some grits, girl. Boy, person, whatever. When ready, dissolve the white mass in 3 cups of clear water. Add 7 tablespoons of sugar and mix to create a sweet porridge. Before going to sleep, eat a small portion of the preparation and use the rest to prepare a bath to be taken from head to toe. asking Orishanana to protect you from health issues and give you mind balance and strength. So there's this need to be balanced. There's this need to balance, being the strong one with accepting help from others, to balance solitude with being around others. Let's see, surrender, yes. So a part of you is going to have to give up some control and realize there's things in this world you cannot control. And you're going to have to surrender to what is. But also, after you surrender to what is, you're going to find some ideas to get out of the situation you're in. Look, in this one, there's also a mother and a child as well. So this pile, I feel like this pile, you guys definitely have children. A lot of people have children in this pile. Now let's see what 44. Iset, goddess of spiritual surrender, Nubia, Egypt. Temple High Priestess's element bush. Goddess Iset is revered as a magical healer and sorceress. She is of 10,000 names. You may know her as Isis. Her Greek name, or Aset, or Wuset, Iset, was worshipped in ancient Nubia, the Sudan region, Egypt and beyond. Egypt and beyond. Let it all go is Iset's guidance. Say aloud, now I surrender. These words cast a spell, breathe them in. Embodiment, release control, stop pondering around struggle. Hand the keys to the divine. Allow spirit to carry you and fill in the gaps. You don't have to have it all figured out. Goddess has your back. Have faith in where you are in this moment. I'm totally getting Mercury retro, tongue twisting vibes happening. Goddess declaration. Everything I need to know finds me at the perfect time. So yeah, during Mercury retrograde, it's going to be a time for you to sort of embrace a lot of these ideas and try to sort of let go of a lot of things, for sure. And surrender is going to be very, very important for you. I'm getting the song that's channeling in for me, which actually was channeling in for me yesterday randomly, is Beyonce's You Can't Break My Soul. Yeah, that's coming in very, very strong for me for this pile. But yeah, pile number 2, that is the information that I have for you to remain with, to seek balance and to not try to carry it all on your shoulders, to release, surrender and let God, goddess, and to also find a balance between taking your own counsel, being in solitude, and going out, reaching out to the community for help as well. And release pride and ego. That's what's happening as well. Pile number 3. If this resonates with you, please like and subscribe and comment below with a skull or a black heart emoji, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. Continuing our journey with this rest theme. We are resting in the African diaspora, but particularly in the African American community right now. We are resting in the Black community right now. However you identify, we are resting. It says, rest is my foundation to build, invent, restore, and imagine the world I want to see. This lovely hematite capped Auralite 2023, which is very high vibe stone, and the hematite is the grounding that we get in order to essentially realize our spirituality. That's the energy of this particular Auralite 2023, Auralite 23 in my opinion. So I believe this is the card. And pile number 3, we always get extra, to be honest. Oh wow, yeah, pile number 3, you are really connecting with the ancestors. And when I mean connecting with the ancestors, with this Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, you are connecting with ancestral knowledge. And you are like literally reading, your interest is in reading, learning about and preserving Black history, no matter what. Yeah. At any cost, you're protecting and preserving it. Yeah. The King of Cups, you are a very compassionate individual, pile number 3. Yeah. And with this Ace of Pentacles, look, you are, Ace of Pentacles can be money or health, but it can also be what we deeply value. And you deeply value the legacy that you want to pass down to future generations, pile number 3. So you also might be a teacher or historian. Yeah. And there is a pride and there's a balance of pride in working. You're wanting to work with, you want to work with your culture and work with our people. You want to work with Black people, but you also want to work with others in the world, and you also want to sort of solidify our position in the world. There's a balance, right? You realize that we have to be in and of this world, and while we do have to be, FUBU for us, by us, we also have to exist and coexist with the world at large. And so you are really invested in us establishing our own economic infrastructure, and in educating ourselves. Black doctors, lawyers, just across the arts, teachers, educators, innovators, STEM, science, with this, telescope, Black astrophysicists, more Neil deGrasse Tysons, right? More people that invent the video cartridge, more stoplights, more hidden figures. That's what you are for, and you're for preserving that. That is, in your opinion, it's a blessing to do that, right? It's something that you consider to be not your chore or your burden, but your privilege. Pile number 3. Wow, how beautiful is that? That's really amazing. And then with this, exploration, boldness is what it says. The goat, the hyena, and Nat Love. Los Angeles, 1921. Exploration, discovery, boldness, decision, readiness of spirit. You are ready to take what our ancestors built upon and what they did, and you are ready to go into the future. You're also somebody, I believe, who's a very strong proponent of reparations and studies to bring us into the future, to build communities, even amongst this terrible thing that's going on in this country right now. You are coming with the hope vibe. Yeah, you are coming with how, yes, this is terrible, but we are resting. We are, you are like, let's protest with our dollars. And while we're doing that, you are like, let us support Black owned, Black created, Black driven business interests. You are the one that watches like Roland Martin and and programs like that, because you are concerned with how do we have Black banks and financial infrastructure? How do we own more homes, more property, more land? How do we start to work for ourselves? Yeah. Working smarter and not harder. Yeah, pile number 3. And I'm with you. I'm there. I'm telling you, I'm there. I'm like really putting in an effort to support Black-owned businesses and to promote Black-owned businesses because there's a lot of really amazing good ones out there. It says, you were lied. You were enough before capitalism lied. You were enough before white supremacy lied. Oh, both violent systems have uprooted the self-esteem and self-worth of all exposed to them. As we uncover the lies we have been told about who we are, we must turn to rest. Rest is our foundation. You want a world rooted in justice? Rest more. That is what we're discovering. I was just literally watching something, and it was talking about how in this No Kings protest, it was one of the influencers I follow, was talking about how, I guess it was Bill Maher, and I'm going to get a little political here, because I need to make a point. And he was saying that, he was asking Michael Steele, who is somebody that used to be, I guess, on the Republican side, a black man, and that is now becoming, in the last, this is before, I guess before even Trump 1.0 or whatever, back with the Tea Party and all of that, way back with Obama. I think he left the Tea Party and started to rediscover himself and realize the ways in which he had been sort of, bought into this whole capitalism thing. And so there's, Bill Mayer's like asking him as if he's supposed to know and represent all black people, but why are no black people in, not no, but why are there so few? It's like, we had to have cameras. Camera people were looking for black people to show on camera. And I think Michael Steele came back with a comment that, black people had a meeting. And basically he's like, that it didn't go too well for, white people in that meeting, essentially meaning that we decided we were going to sit this one out. And I thought, wow, yeah, that's the energy right now. And in this video, was talking about investing in our, like, sort of backing away from being the one that does all the emotional, and mental, and physical, and all the kinds of labor that was like tacitly required of us. We have gained a lot of personal power just from stepping back. So yes, believe rest is revolutionary. Rest allows us the space to learn, to learn about our history and culture and to figure out how we're going to move next, right? How we're going to react with a sense of groundedness and not just, reacting to react, but how we are going to react to also preserve who we are as well. And please, guys, don't come for me if I mispronounce these. I really am just really still learning about the Orisha and still learning about a lot of earth-based religions that come out of Africa, pre-Christianity and Abrahamic religions, and in many cases pre-Muslim. So Ajiagbi, your reality is big as you can dream. Look at that. And he has, almost looks like some kind of a telescope or something to look through. Yeah, visionary. You're a visionary, pile number 3. You have all of these hopes and dreams, and keep fighting. We need more people in the community like you. The positive aspect. Your reality is as big as you can dream. Your Orisha is Osheguan, and the youngest, Oshala and Shango Ayara. Ayira? I think so. Again, don't come for me. Social and political ability, eloquent and convincing, able to multitask, searches for excellence, ambitious, curious, freedom lover. Her horizons of grandeur and achievement are what guide your steps right now. However, there is always a feeling that someone is chasing you, ready to betray your trust and pull the rug out from under you at any moment. Calm down and take a deep breath. The world is indeed a dangerous place for the unsuspecting, but you don't need to be alert all the time. After all, the earth revolves around the sun and not around you. Look inside yourself and realize you are capable, deserving, and victorious. That is why you are already reaping the fruits of destiny, even when all circumstances say otherwise. Boom. Still, even when the path ahead is positive and promising, a shadow hangs over your soul. To diffuse these conflicts, you need to be the first to believe in yourself, sincerely and honestly. Only then will people around you also truly recognize your worth and no longer agree simply to avoid angering you, so you won't fall on them with fury. Your discretion and air of authority allow you to be accepted in the most diverse groups and even serve as a mediator in conflicts. However, this social fluency is marked by many betrayals and persecutions. If you decide to go through life according to your own will, you must be careful not to cross the boundary between ambition and greed, as your tendency to reshape truth and reality can cause you to stumble, and once you've left everyone behind, there won't be anyone to catch you if you fall. Agiobi's empowering ritual on the new moon Friday, and then for the next 7 days before going to sleep, take a head to toe bath of clear water mixed with a pinch of indigo powder or African waji, if you can find it where you live, and a few drops of your favorite perfume, asking Oshioguan to give you balance in life and clear your thoughts so you can face life's challenges after the bath. Wear white or very light colors. Wow. Yeah. And so I think this is a caution to remain humble. You're going to get a lot of knowledge and ideas, but I think they're saying don't get a big head. You will know a lot, yes, but that, don't let that make you a know-it-all. That's what I'm getting. That's a caution for future. And yeah, if you lead with compassion, people will literally hang on your every word because you have a great amount of charisma. Abonimba harvest. Yeah, look at that. And this is what you see for the Black community. You see us abundant. The song that's coming through to me, because this all these readings have each one of them has channeled a song, but it's Nas, If I Ruled the World. Yeah, that's coming through to me like really big. Wow. If I Ruled the World, it's the vision that Nas has for the Black community, right? It's the vision of hope that he has for the Black community. Let's see. It says Abonimba, goddess of harvest, Baga, Guinea. Temple high priestess, element water. Abol is the Baga goddess, and Nimba is her living spiritual healing mass. Together they embody the sacred feminine and abundance. Give thanks. You are blessed. It is harvest time. Pray attention, not pay attention. A season of great harvest is a season of great epiphanies. You are prospering. Harvest is when you reap the blessings that you have sown. The harvest is not just the fulfillment of your dreams, but the creation of them, your thoughts, your imagination, the blessings of you being here another day on this earth. That is all harvest. What seeds of generosity, love, support, and goodwill can you sow in your community to create a bountiful harvest for all? Goddess declaration, we are always prospering. Wow. And that is the energy that you are bringing, into this world and into your community. So keep on doing what you're doing. The African diaspora and the Black American community, especially right now, need that. They need that whole vibe. Yeah. Well, that is all that I have for you, pile number 3. I will write the song information down in the info box. And as always, if this resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and comment below with a skull or a black heart emoji. And I'll see you in the next one. And I believe the If I Rule the World song is also Lauryn Hill in there as well, singing the vocals. So yeah, but at any rate, I'll see you in the next reading, pile number 3. Bye.